outs to everyone. Big up to each and every one of you in the building. Your boy is a little bit late, but on time. Nevertheless, Trinity time. Here's wishing welcome for all of the Manchester fans of Manchester United in Deutschland. And you know what it is, guys. It's a transfer update. Let me just remove this thing from the screen, guys. Hold on one second. This is much better. Oh, I gotta remove this layer as well. Okay. So, how are you doing today? Hope you're having a wonderful day, guys. It's your boy Marken coming to you. I have a little bit of a technical difficulty with my thumbnail. I posted a brand new thumbnail, but an old thumbnail is showing when I shared the thing on everything, on the Facebook and everything. It's an old thumbnail. I don't know why. And I know you're seeing an old thumbnail, but I got some updates for you guys. Interesting points. Let's start off with the interesting news. Let's get straight into it. Let's start with, a recap of yesterday, but you know what I mean, interesting news to be had. Let's talk about it. So back where we left off yesterday, guys, Corello de la Sport, talking about about Jaden Sancho, everyone. I told you guys yesterday that, of course. Roma is willing to throw the kitchen sink in order to secure his services, and they are not willing to leave Manchester United until Sunday with him in tow. And guys, everyone is talking about it now. And what I can tell you is they might just get the deal done. There are some reports, though, that, some difficulties do arise, but Man United are willing to get this deal over the line, and they're not going to be held ransom by any player. Shortly, big up to you, Nikes. Big up to Tommy Boyle. How's the throat after what? What? After the challenge, have you recovered? I wish we would have go get Andre from Wolves. 100%, bro. I don't know why we don't go and make that deal. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I can tell you, Man United has some interest in the player. Will they make a deal? Well, I don't know. Yeah, for Crystal. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that, son. I was gonna talk about that. Give it a few minutes, son. Shout out to you, broski, in the building. Now let's go. Let me go back in with with what we were talking about here. Of course, you guys know that I told you the coach himself spoke to Jaden Sancho directly via phone call, and of course, Jaden Sancho asked for a few more days of time in the direct talks to give them his final answer. Of course, his agent is the one who's asking for exorbitant fees, and currently, an intermediary is trying to get his agent to cut his asking because because there's no problem for Roma to pay his wages. It's just what the agent is asking is ridiculous. And that's kind of what's delaying the deal in this current moment. Now, guys, I'm going to go on to this story here, but we'll also talk about Adam Wharton a second time. But let's talk about this because, I talked to you guys about Sen Lammens. Well, there's another goalkeeper that has been doing the rounds, a lot of interest from Man United, heavy scouting report over the last couple years, and we've never really made a move. But West Ham were in to sign this player, and he rejected West Ham. And John Victor of Botafogo rejecting West Ham, leaving his future open and sparking speculation both in South America and Europe, evolving the goalkeeper market. And guess what happened, guys? It's some interesting news because it seems that Man United have been speaking this to this player as well as another alternative goalkeeping option. Because this all ties in to what I was telling you guys about the other day. And Ruben Amorim, the headlines, what should be everyone's talking point today is Ruben Amorim has confirmed Andre Onana has been demoted to third choice goalkeeper, saying he put two players ahead of him while still backing United's goalkeeping and having depth. And this means that Andre Onana is successfully the third choice goalkeeper at Man United going forward. And is this a bid to force the goalkeeper out of the club? Well, it looks like Man United are preparing to try to sign two young goalkeepers to compete while they wait on that special target. And of course, everyone's talking about him recently, Diego Costa. But a deal for Diego Costa is very, very difficult to do for Man United this summer. I'm not saying they won't explore options, but getting two young goalkeepers like John Victor and Sen Lammens may not be a bad choice for Manchester United when you understand the fact that John Victor has been likened to the likes of Lucas Perry, the ex Botafogo goalkeeper. If I could remember, he went on to keep at if not Juventus, I think it was PSG or something like that years ago. An interesting style player showing very much in similarities in positioning and shot stopping skills, and he's very, very good on the ball. This young guy, John Victor. And, they have also compared him to Fabrizio Bruno. It's an interesting situation. And the price is not that cheap. And, guys, again, I tell you, the law of elite football heritage, the story shows a trend and it often fades when the elite clubs pursue. And if United interest is real in John Victor, he may yet be on the move to the Premier League. Guys, I know it is very interesting. Yeah, he's a funny youth, guys. You know what I mean? So let's talk about Adam Wharton. I'll get into comments in 1 second. I just wanted to give you guys as much information as possible before I jump in. Of course, we did speak about Adam Wharton yesterday as well, guys. Of course, we've been following the Adam Wharton story. What I can tell you is that the scouts are still very much set to pursue Adam Wharton this weekend again, as Man United still con you know await an answer from Crystal Palace before they can jump themselves into negotiations. Of course, Man United would like to make a very swift situation with this deal. And I say it's swift, because Man United would like to get this deal done by next Monday, if it is to happen at all. And I think Man United have set a deadline for all remaining deals, including exits, to be completed by next week, Thursday. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Now, I know that Man United have been rumored to be interested in young Agume, very interesting talent, very, very promising defensive midfielder. But I think there's going to be a slight conflict of interest when the club comes in. He's also a target of OG Nice as well. So it might be interesting to see what actually happens in that particular situation. Now, I am not saying that the player is not interesting, but what I'm saying to you that there's no known reports that Man United have sent scouts behind the player, or Man United has made official inquiries about the player's availability. It's going to be very interesting. However, lots of reports have coming out recently that Man United have interest in said player. Well, I'm not too sure about that, guys. I could be wrong, but what I've been hearing is that, and what I've been seeing, does not say that Man United have made any concrete contact with the club or players' camp to inquire for more. What I can tell you right now is where we're inquiring is for Adam Wharton. And right now, just like Baliba was the priority last 2 weeks, it seems like Adam Wharton is slowly becoming the priority for Manchester United. He is an interesting player, very interesting, and let's see how it goes. The funny thing is, Bayern there is not the backup keeper. He's actually United's number one in terms of the new reorganization. Second is Tom Heaton, and third is Andrew Onana. So it's funny, guys, that the way you talk about it, as I just announced to you that Andrew Onana is the third choice goalkeeper, and this is by the manager's words, not mine. This is the manager's words, not mine. So it's weird. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. You know what I mean? So it will be good to see what's going on, but I don't know. I can't say where we are going to go from here with that sort of situation. But, we have to see what the manager has made his choice upon. But interestingly enough, guys, weirdly enough, I talked about this player last summer. I was saying we needed to get a player in on the free, and lots of people were saying, bring me this guy, bring me this guy. And I was saying to you guys, there's a player who can come in and improve our midfield. He can be a goal threat. He can play balls in from deep. He's a threat on the corner. He has good ability and he's a winner. He knows how to win. He's won for his club and he's won for his country. And it would seem that based on certain situations, he is being offered to Manchester United currently. And it's an interesting situation that Adrian Rabiot of Marseille comes into the fore. And there are reports that Marseille and his agent will be offering this player on the very, 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 very cheap to Manchester United within the coming next 24 to 36 hours. And, well, of course, I don't think that Man United are set to say yes or accept the approach from the club and his agent to take the player in based on some disciplinary actions with the club. It seems that the player and the club has come to an impasse. But what I can tell you is there is interest from Manchester United in the player. We have struck a deal previously with Juventus, but things fell apart based on the heavy ask by his manager and, of course, mother, Veronique. So, what I can tell you all is will be very interesting to see what happens in the next 48 hours for Manchester United. Alejandro Garnacho could be leaving in the next 48 hours. There also are reports that we could be seeing another exit happening in that time. And of course, the possibilities of Man United making an official bid for Adam Wharton or another player as they confirm their priorities for the midfield will be very interesting to see what's happening. And that's what I will say. United still definitely retain an interest. Of course, he is a player who's very dynamic in the midfield. He can defend, he can go forward, he has a good engine on him. I think he can do a job, but again, maybe. Let's see what happens. But what I can tell you is with Andre Onana right now, it's going to be a very difficult situation because there are certainly some situation going on with him right now. And the decision, and it's a dramatic fall for Onana in this current moment to be demoted to third string goalkeeper. It's one of those things where I feel for the player, to be honest. He has performed decent once or twice in some moments and a couple games here or there, but ever since getting Manchester United knocked out of the Champions League, it was always going to be a tough road for Andrew Onana, and he's never really came good. And that's just my honest word. When I would be one of those guys who always wanted him out the moment we signed him. I asked myself, I support Ten Hag, but why did you sign this guy? He's rubbish. You know what I mean? I could be wrong, guys. I'm not the be all and end all, but he never gave me the feeling of a goalkeeper. You know what I mean? So I apologize to whoever is offended by that, but yeah, I don't really rate Andre Nana like that, and I don't think he reminds me of any kind of goalkeeper. So it's for me very good news that Ruben Amir made him the third choice goalkeeper at the club in this current moment. I am happy to hear that information. Rabio, I believe he is 29 this year, 28 or 29. Let me just confirm. I think he's 29. He's 30 years old, actually, guys. Rabio just turned 30, guys. Yeah, so that's what we even have time to get into negotiations for Wharton? Well, if the reports are anything to believed, Nick, we could be into negotiations as soon as tomorrow morning for him. So it would be one of those things. Oh, they had a punch up. Yeah, well, it's interesting. He's a feisty guy, and we need that kind of physicality. I wouldn't mind him. To be fair, I think it's going to be interesting. Yo, didn't you lose to Crystal Palace, bro? They came back from 2-0 down to beat you. Yeah. Didn't their goalkeepers, didn't Salah kick the ball over bars? Like he kicked it to the moon, my brother. Yeah. I mean, you almost lost this weekend, but let's see what happens in the next game for you. Hopefully, you're enjoying yourself, broski. Your team is looking okay, but you're suspect. Your defense is definitely problematic, and if you don't got 150 million pounds, stop talking about Isak, bro. You're broke. Yeah, tell your club find the money or don't talk shit. Benjamin Sesko is here. You don't want to see him. Trust me. At the top end. Anyway, guys, all the members in the chat, there's some new emojis and some new badges next to your names. I'm pretty sure you would all notice them. I hope you enjoy them. You know what I mean? It's going to be much more fun. Of course, I have to make a little shuffle around. We need some sad player badges as well. I only have some cool stuff, to be honest. I think it's all cool stuff. But you guys can tell me in the chat how you feel about it. Let me know, give me some feedback. There could be changes, and of course, there has been some changes to the membership policies. You know what I mean? There's also the 199 policy, the sheep policy. If you guys just want to support your boy Mark Ken, and of course, it will also help into the development of the channel and all that good stuff. So yeah, Etekite. Last I checked, Etekite hasn't even scored 30 goals in the last 4 seasons of playing football as an attacking player, while Sesko is already past 80. So, I mean, if you want to compare 30 to 80 and say that there's no comparison, I get you, bro. You know what I mean? I get you. You did pay 10 million pounds more for the player, so I fully get you, bro. Yeah? Whatever helps you sleep at night, my guy. You know what I mean? But hey, you'll see what I'm talking about pretty soon. Guys, it's an interesting one. Manchester United's interest in Sen Lammens has not cooled down. I report to you, it has not cooled down. It's very much possible that in light of things happening, it's possible that there will be a move for Tom Heaton. Maybe if we do sign these two young goalkeepers, and then it will be them and buy in there until that option comes available. Now, what I can tell you about Saint Lamens and this deal with Royal Antwerp is that it's going to be within the region of 20 to 25 million euros. A very easy deal to be done. The club is open to the deal. The player wants to move. Manchester United are interested in the player, and of course, Ruben Amorim admires the young goalkeeper. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Like I keep telling you, back end of the window, last few days, that's when that move is going to happen very quick. There's not going to be any difficulty there. But right now, Man United are mulling over this Adam Wharton deal. And I'm assuming a bid of 55 million pounds plus 10 is going to be Man United's opening official bid. Of course, if everything goes as planned, maybe that bid might land tomorrow. And of course, if that bid lands, then of course, guys, maybe we will be in for negotiation for the player that will be very swift, because there have been reports that Crystal Palace will be open to a figure around 70 million pounds. Now, I know 55 plus 10 in add-ons is not 70 million pounds, but if Crystal Palace comes to the table and starts negotiations, it might very well be enough money to sign the player, because then to add 5 million pounds more is a matter of a stroke of a pen in this current situation for Manchester United. So, guys, it's going to be interesting. It's not going to be a difficult ask. Currently, Manchester United are doing their very utmost to secure some critical positions for Manchester United. It's all based on priority. Where do we need support the most? And like I say to you guys, the Donnarumma deal everyone's talking about is an opportunistic situation. Man United was having interest in the player. He's a world class goalkeeper. Of course, United should and must and have to be interested in this player. But currently, their focus is signing on a midfielder, and that's where the priority lies. Of course, if the deal is still open and the terms are feasible for Manchester United, you could very well see Donnarumma make his way to Old Trafford. But that will be after a midfielder is signed, while that has still and is still the priority for Manchester United. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to break the bubble or anything like that, but this is just the news that I have for you. If you don't like it, I can't be mad at you for the truth and it upsetting you. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be interesting. What I can tell you is we should be looking forward to two more signings, and if we are lucky, a possible third. But what I can tell you for now, two more signings, one central midfielder, and a possible goalkeeping signing. Now, whether it's going to be Victor or remain Saint Lammens or both players, you never know what could happen in the back end, especially if Man United has some money to play with the sales of Alejandro Garnacho and, and of course, Jadon Sancho to Roma. So let's see how this goes. This has been your update for Wednesday, guys. A short one. I know you may not like it, but this is just the little bit of news that we have, and there's not much more left to go. So, guys, in the rest of the days that are to come, there are going to be some chaotic moments, and I expect Man United to make some move aggressively, and we will be bringing you some breaking news in the coming hours. Expect it, to be fair. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to smash a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, and of course, every like counts. Your boy Mark Ken, from me to you, have a great evening. Peace out. Love you guys. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next one.
Baby.